Hi, everybody. Welcome to Very VH1. We have with us Zoey, Deutch, and Lucy Fry. And all of your fans have been waiting anxiously.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. Yeah,
very
really
well.
excited to be here and talk to everyone.
Good. Have you ever worked in an office before? It looks like you're very excellent little
One second, I think we're getting a call.
Yeah.
computer whizzes there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, not really.
You look good.
Yeah. I think I'd be the worst person with an office job. I would get too ADD about everything. So
Yeah,
right now I'm already I'm trying to pick things up and yeah, exactly.
Hanging from
Yeah.
the desk. Yeah, it wouldn't go so well for me.
All right. Well, let's get started. I guess I first want to know about the beginning. Like, when did you guys first hear about Vampire Academy?
I first heard about it when I was backpacking. I was in London and I got sent the script and I read it and then loved it. And on the plane over to LA, I was just drawing all these pictures of Lissa and I was, just working really, really hard because I loved the role so much. And that was when I first read the script and fell in love with it.
I heard about Vampire Academy because I did a movie called Beautiful Creatures, which is also a young adult book turned to movie. And I actually was here last year for New York Comic Con for that, and I heard about it then. And one of the authors of Beautiful Creatures is very close with Rochelle Mead, who wrote Vampire Academy, so that's why I heard about it.
So, have you guys read all of the books at all?
Yeah, of course. We both read the first book as to
The first one.
before we started shooting and while we were shooting, and now we're continuing to read the other ones. But it's kind of it's a conscious choice you have to make if you want to know what happens, opposed to stay in that moment, because there's a lot to focus on anyway.
We don't want to get too far ahead about our characters, because if you know in too much detail exactly what's happening to your character before it happens, then it kind of affects the way that you play it. You can presume things too quickly. So for the first movie, I read the first book 6 times.
Right.
You just go through it a million times for me to connect to Lissa and get into the psychology of it. And
I would sometimes when we had it for specific scenes that I knew were taken directly from the book, I would read that. I would find it in the book the night before, and I would reread that so that I could remember. Because the book, especially because it's from Rose's perspective, there's a lot in there that's helpful. It's like half my work is already done for me to some extent. Because I can really get into her mind.
And it's so helpful that Rose can get into Lissa's mind, so I can know everything Lissa's thinking too.
Exactly. So I would go back and try to reread those specific segments while shooting.
Yeah. So, okay, so the fans have to be conscious not to spoil the rest of the series for you, I'm sure.
No,
we know. We know.
We know.
You know, okay.
Yeah.
You know about Adrian and everything
So in
like
Deutsch, Bulgaria, we do see this chat, and you guys are going.
I know. I was gonna note, this is one of the fandoms that
already they know. I wanted to keep that secret. No.
Yeah, Lizzie has the best laugh
I
ever.
sound like a dolphin.
No, that's like a good thing. I sound like a dolphin. Dolphins are.
It's like people know where I am in the studio because they can hear the laugh echoing.
I tried to imitate it once alone in my room to try and to be funny. And these is not mine. Yours is cute. Mine is
Not
just
really
loud.
That's
and
noticeable. You know when the laugh's in the room.
I love it.
Me too. So, did you guys? How long before shooting did you two meet? Because I could tell that you're great friends by now.
Yeah.
We met
in the audition room.
We met in the audition.
Yeah, and the first time that we met, we really connected, and Zoey drove me home, being my guardian straight away, protecting me. And
she was alone, not making smart decisions.
I just needed a guardian.
You just needed a car.
Give me a car.
Yeah. So we really connected when we first met, and so I think therefore that's where That's why I think they cast us together. We had chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I think people initially think, so yeah.
Yeah, and then when we found out that we had the parts, we started hanging out a lot before we went to London to kind of.
I burnt cookies that she was making.
They were still good, and we still ate them.
They weren't good. You didn't eat them. Don't try to be nice to me.
I ruined
them. I literally ruined your cookies. It was really embarrassing.
We got through it.
Because I take pride anyway. I don't want to be a bad baker. I'm generous.
I know you are good.
But I burned them big time. Like 2 minutes late. Anyway, sorry guys. So stuff we're working out with.
I don't feel like I need to be here really.
No, we need you. We love you.
Help, please.
We could just make this all about the cookies, really.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Oh, maybe not. I agree.
Burnt cookie. You can share your recipe. Well, yeah. So speaking to that, I just was sharing. Our viewer Claire wanted to know what you guys have in your friendship that you share in common with Rose and Lissa's friendship. You were just saying that you're already her guardian.
Yeah.
Zoe.
I guess.
What else? Or do you have a psychic connection too?
Sometimes.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you. We do.
And you would know how.
No, I wish. That'd be weird.
That'd be pretty creepy.
I feel like that would be so overstimulating. I can't imagine living in someone's head like that.
Mm.
It was overstimulating to act it, so to actually.
I know, it's like, and the idea of someone being able to see everything that you're doing all the time, yeah, even acting that you feel quite vulnerable, and if that was actually real.
Right, and there's some kind of psychological element to, like, you know, when a car crashes, it's horrible, but you can't look away. You still want to look. It's kind of like a similar reaction to not wanting to be in someone's head, but you can't stop, and you kind of don't want to stop. Yeah. Exactly.
How are those scenes portrayed? How are we going to get to see Rose in Lissa's head?
Well, we shot it like, specifically calling it Lissa Vision.
Yeah.
And there was, we filmed some things from when I was doing a scene that Rose is looking into. They would do some shots with the camera in my perspective, and I think that Mark's going to like blur it a little bit. So that it looks as though Rose is seeing through my eyes. And then the way that Rose is during those scenes. Originally, they were going to be like weird contacts, but they didn't really work. So then.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to watch and see, folks. Yep.
Have you seen much footage other than what was in the trailer?
I've seen some stuff for ADR, and I think we will be seeing it pretty soon. One of the cuts.
Yeah.
So that'll be very exciting.
Yeah, really excited to see it.
Do you have a favorite scene so far, just from your experience acting it?
Do I have a favorite scene? You know what's funny? As I'm gonna have to say, I think my favorite scene is the scene of you, Dominic, and I.
Yeah, me too. The one where we
at the end
hug and look at the book. And
it's kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? The culmination.
It's climax down. Resolution.
There we go. High five. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's our favorite.
Okay.
I think that's our favorite because you can really see there's so much tension and there's such a complicated friendship that it was nice to have a somewhat lighthearted scene together where it really shows how much we love each other and
when there's finally nothing blocking us, because there's so many obstacles in the relationship throughout the film. Everything's always getting in the way and they're always figuring stuff out, and finally all the obstacles are removed and they can just
we think they're removed.
Well, or are they?
Yeah. Hi, Brazil.
Cool. On the other hand, was there any scene that was really hard to shoot?
This is Germany. Greece. I'm sorry, I have ADD. There's people talking. Hundreds of people talking to me, and I just
Russia.
Oh no, Australia, Romania,
Brazil, Australia,
Missouri,
Australia,
Missouri.
Norway,
Toby. This is so entertaining. Wow. Zoe, read this, babe. Philippines, Romania,
Switzerland,
Danilo, Manila. That's not a place, that's a person.
New York City.
France.
Greece. Poland.
I didn't even know some of these. I really.
Australia again.
Scotland. That's Denmark, Turkey. Okay. This is getting out of hand.
The world?
Yeah.
Love you.
Okay.
We are gonna go on as long as you. It's so awesome. I mean, have you ever been involved with something with such a global fan base before?
No, I don't. No.
Wait, did anyone warn you that this was such a big thing before you signed on to it?
Yes, the author of one of the authors of Beautiful Creatures. I was on a press tour for Beautiful Creatures, and she was like, "The fans they are the most passionate, like amazing, extreme fan base." And I kind of took that into. I just didn't think much of it, and then I signed on to Twitter after the press release happened. I was like, oh, I get it.
I still need to learn how to use Twitter properly. Zoe's gonna.
She's gonna put this on me. She's gonna be like, Zoey needs to teach me. Zoey
Well,
hasn't
yes,
taught
come
me.
on.
Like as if it's my fault that you don't know how to use a computer.
I know. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really bad at using the internet.
I think it's probably easier than you think.
Sorry?
I said it's probably easier than you're thinking it is.
I know.
She is awesome. She does things with her life. Doesn't, she's
Doesn't really
different.
involve the
Doesn't want
internet.
That's true.